Hello and welcome back to the AFL High Performance Podcast. This is a monthly update, our solo episode, my first for 2026. A happy new year to everyone. Today it's going to be focused for the Australian rules footballers out there, whether you're playing state level football, you're part-time athletes, or we call it part-time, but we know the dedication you put into. I've worked with at VFL level. The majority of you guys are thinking about it and applying yourself like full-time athletes, but you're juggling other commitments like work and uni. And then we've got NAB League, so those that are in their final year of school and you're also looking to get drafted at the end of the year. And then, of course, junior pathways, those still cutting your teeth, still learning your game. Well, everyone's still probably learning the game out of this area listening to this podcast, but ultimately you're still developing your craft. So of those three, I'll try and give some practical tips on how to maximise this pre-season and give you 5 non-negotiables for a successful pre-season. I believe if you don't nail these 5, then you're not setting yourself up for not just starting the first 4 weeks of the season, but giving yourself your best chance, really consistent, high-performing year for season 2026. So we're at the pointy end now, especially for the state level footballers and the NAB League footballers. Junior pathways, you guys are probably just getting going, perhaps over the next couple of weeks with your football. But for state level footballers all around the country and NAB League, this is the pointy end. This is basically the crunch time. January, February is the opportunity to become match hardened and really develop your work capacity, so you're ready for anything that's thrown at you in season. So it's a critical period. It should be the most challenging period of the year, I believe, physically and mentally, to make sure you've got enough credits to be able to set yourself up and build that foundation for the in-season. Now, of course, if you're listening in live, feel free to comment below in the chat section any questions that you have. Thank you for everyone that wrote in AFL Body. That was the first time we did that, and it was great to have a fair few of you guys take up that opportunity to get a free pre-season program valued over $300. So for everyone that commented before the end of the year of 2025, you got the whole December, January, February, March program free on our Team Builder High Performance AFL program. So well done to you guys for getting engaged. It's something I want to bring 2026 on the podcast, so make sure to stay tuned. And if you take up the opportunity, we're happy to give away a lot of content, a lot of value, not just by listening, but also some tangible programs as well. So want to give back to our loyal fans. But number one out of our top 5 non-negotiables for a successful pre-season would be to know your priorities, i.e. your strengths. This is becoming more and more popular, more and more of the narrative in AFL land. And as we know, what is popular at AFL tends to trickle down to all levels. So even if you're playing under 10s, you want to really be clear on what your strengths are. And for some of you, you're going to be well-rounders and more of a generalist, and that's your strength. For some of you, you're going to be more of a specialist, like speed, or your aerial ability, or your strength in your contest side of your game. So that's going to be your priority. But what we want to focus on is sharpening our weapons over the January-February period, and really being clear on what your strengths are. What's your one wood? What is some of the skills that you have and talents that you have that allow you to play the position at a really high level that you play for the team, but also to when you play your best game, typically what are you doing at a really high level? And that could be an easy way if you're a bit unstuck and you're unsure on what your strengths are. Think about your best performances of last year and the last previous seasons, and what did you do really well. And what did that game feel like? And that's what we want to try and obviously replicate, not just for the team, but for yourself, because you probably enjoyed that game the most, right? It's your strengths. It's what's going to get you drafted. It's your strengths that's going to allow you to become a draftee, and then the hardest part, actually become a bona fide AFL player week in, week out. So that's your point of difference, and that's what you want to be really clear on. I believe the clearer you are on that, and the sooner you start developing that, the better that's going to allow you to play at your highest level and enjoy your football. So that's your number one, and should always be your number one. Really be clear and have a good weekly, daily focus on how you're maximising your strengths. Now, to complement our strengths, our ceiling, and raising that ceiling, and you're going to have a lot of talents and things that are in your favour to have a real point of difference with those. We also want to try and AFL obviously is a well-rounded game. It's demanding because you go against bigger bodies. It's not a weight class game. It's a massive field, the biggest field of any team sport. So you need to be fit. It's the longest game, so you've got to be fit, and it's 360 degrees. So you need lots of good footwork and agility. So from a physical point of view, obviously the contest side of the game, the jumping part of the game, it requires everything. So we also need to understand our limiters. For our strengths to be on show, we want to try and obviously the better players and the better teams are going to try and expose these limiters, these weaknesses. So be aware of them. Don't shy away from them. Still put in some habits and some areas of your game where you're trying to limit your flaw and develop a routine that allows this weakness not to be your Achilles heel. So what I mean by that, let's say your strengths are your speed and your power, but your Achilles heel, your weakness, your limiters is your fitness. So typically the first 10 minutes of every quarter, you're unbelievable. You're the best, but making the biggest impact. You're playing a role for your team, and your strengths are on show. But then you deteriorate. Your fitness doesn't allow your strengths to be on show because you're so fatigued. You're not able to recover and repeat your high intensity efforts. For our strengths to be on show for the remaining 10 to, depending on how long your quarters are, 10, 20 minutes, we want to try and put some work into this area. So now you can be a good player for your team over the whole quarter and be strong and powerful because you can repeat those efforts for longer. So being aware of your limiters, use your support team around you. Obviously, if you haven't got a program, you haven't got a strength and conditioning coach, hire one of our AFL strength and conditioning coaches. You can work with them one-on-one to give you support and be your soundboard, build in a program that's specific to you, customized to you, rather than following a cookie cutter program. And that can allow you to really develop those weaknesses, but make sure we're not taking away from your strengths as well. Number 3, don't make these big mistakes. That would be to really go about your preseason being inconsistent. So you might be all in for week 1, super motivated, but your discipline's poor, and therefore week 2, week 3, you're going through the motions, and as fatigue starts to kick in, you're not clear on your targets and what your key areas of focus are, and you're starting to just become another number. So we don't want to be just going through the motions and just at this time of year everyone's motivated, but it's the discipline that's going to hold you through. So that's why it's really important to develop good habits. Habits are not only going to set you up for this year, but when you in your future seasons, that's when you're really going to reap the benefits from your habits because you do it consistently over a long period of time. So we don't want to be like a yo-yo where we're up and down and really inconsistent. You want to make sure that you're clear on what your key areas of your game are, and you develop good habits and you do them consistently over a daily and weekly basis. The other one is that you're living a lifestyle. The game's hard enough, so you've got to live a lifestyle that's conducive to making sure that your down days are helping you, they're not hindering you. Right? So we don't want extra stresses like poor sleep, for example. That's an easy controllable. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. That is critical to your recovery. It's critical to your mental and physical well-being. It's critical to your performance, your skill, your speed, your fitness, your strength, everything. So we want to make sure these, our sleep, our nutrition, and our stress, our mental health are all in order to allow ourselves to enjoy our football and play our best football. So they're probably our main ones in terms of don't make these 2 mistakes. Be consistent, be disciplined, not motivated, and make sure, not rely on motivation, and make sure that your lifestyle isn't a hindrance. It's actually an enhancement. It's helping you because the game's hard enough. Number 4, have some practical benchmarks, some targets that you're getting after. So whether that be a time trial, let's say you got a 7-minute 10 time trial, 2K time trial, you want to get under 7 minutes. So having a 15-second target over your Christmas break to hit. Make sure you play the practice games. So getting 1 to 2 practice games in and match simulation. Attack those with above game intensity. Make mistakes so you learn and grow, and that's really good feedback on what drills and what you need to target in training. So really get after it, and also make sure that you're getting that from a physical point of view, the loads and exposures of sprinting under fatigue and repeat high intensity efforts, the collisions, the contacts. Don't shy away from that, and just save yourself for the season. Attack it like it's a game, so you're going to be matched harder and better placed than the other players come round 1, round 2, round 3. You'll recover better after those games as well. Cramping doesn't necessarily mean that your pre-season was poor. That's pretty common across all levels, and that's just simply because of the heat. At that time of year is always hotter at the start of the season compared to later seasons, but also nothing can condition you like the real thing, the game. So that's why if we approach it, those practice games, like round 1, round 2, round 3, you're going to be a much better place to perform. Number 5, I think that the mindset is critical. So it's, with the accumulation of work, your mindset's going to be challenged. It's going to be easy to just fall into another number and just going through the motions. Make sure your mindset is dialed in, you're ready to go every session, and just have 1 or 2 things that you're focusing on. Reflect on the last training session, what went well, what didn't, and then what does that mean for the next session? What part of your game are you really focusing on? Looking at the training plan ahead of the session so you can target a few drills and really ensure that those drills, there's a clear focus for your game that you're getting after. But really lean into it, lean into pre-season, embrace the challenge of it rather than shy away from it. And that will allow you to really maximise and get some good learnings through making mistakes. That's your best feedback. So really go for it, focus on for every session, and then reflect what went well, what didn't, so that sets up the next session. Thanks, guys. Hopefully you got some good takeaways. Both male and female, juniors, NAB leaguers looking to get drafted, state level footballers still looking to make it on a list or play their best season yet at all levels. Like always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you want to join our online high performance program, it's only $99 a month. There's a 2-week trial. Head to the website, prioritise.com. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.